What is good? Osiris here, stuck in the middle, back again. This time, the topic is Paul Ryan, a name that is a blast from the past for me. And I haven't talked about much on this channel, but I'm glad to talk about Paul Ryan. Let's get into this. Paul Ryan says, it's really clear. Biden won the election. It was not rigged. It was not stolen. I don't know where that sound's coming from, but I want to take this seriously. Of course, it's clear. There's no debate. There's no question. Clearly, Joe Biden is the most popular president ever from the votes that he got at the general election, more popular than Obama. He ran a great campaign. It's really clear. It was not rigged. It was not stolen. Are you following me? Former House Speaker Paul Ryan said it's really clear that President Biden won the 2020 election as fellow Republicans in his home state gear up for a little something regarding that. I'm not going to go too much into that. That's not what this is really about. But I'll do a little bit more reading here than talk about Paul Ryan. So Ryan's comments come as the GOP, who has clearly been taken over, a hostile takeover by Steve Bannon at the time, and now the figurehead of populism that's taken over the Republican Party is Donald Trump. That movement has forced them in Wisconsin to have to appease them, let's just say. Whether it's a real thing or not, I still have to look into it and read it, but it's being done to appease that group. If they lose that group that they have taken over, then the establishment GOP as we know it is done. They can't win the minds, hearts, and souls of people. So they're going to have to hold on to that. And you're going to see a lot of, that's why I'm hesitant to talk about Ron DeSantis in the fray. I talk about the specific things he believes, whether I like him or not, but I can't say whether he's populist or not. Same with Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert. Ted Cruz, I know, is being a fake populist, even though he's a very bright guy. There's going to be a lot of fakes out there. What do you think Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is? She has been completely, I don't know if it happened from the beginning. I've been researching stuff to maybe do a thing on her. She got this CNN deal. They're propping her up for Senate, governor of New York, or even a presidential run as a fake, in my opinion, fake populist. So things are getting real out here. Paul Ryan is someone who I followed. And to hear him say this is not a surprise. It's no different than what Alyssa Milano did in saying Joe Biden's the greatest, everything was good. No different than what Liz Cheney's doing or Adam Kinzinger. They're all in the same unibody party. And Paul Ryan, I think it's clear, even though he denied it in this article, it is clear that he is going to run again. At the end of the article, he said, who knows what the future holds down the road, but nothing in the near future, that's for sure. That's him saying he's going to get in the game and run again. Let's talk about the young guns. Young guns from about 2010. I'm probably going to miss someone, but the three young guns in the Republican Party, the guys who I thought they were going to take over the Republican Party. I've always followed politics almost like a sport, which is kind of sick in a way when you're dealing with life or death, but whatever. I will listen to old debates, and my wife will walk in the room, and she'll literally look at me like I'm a space alien. I'm like, what's happening? And she points at my screen, and I have like Reagan versus Mondale. And she's like, what is that? I'm like, I'm watching a debate. What do you mean? And then she's just like, you weirdo, and just walks. But the three young guns, remember Eric Cantor? Remember Eric Cantor? They flamed out. And then Paul Ryan, he flamed out because of Bannon and Trump. The hostile takeover through Breitbart was their media. You have to have some of the media to do a takeover. That's why the progressives can't take anything over. They don't really have that media. Some YouTubers, but they're getting there. Eric Cantor and the other one, where are they now? The young guns of the Republican Party in the mid-2000s. Kevin McCarthy. He's a survivor. He was the one that played the chess and looked ahead and aligned himself, and he's trying to come across as maybe not a fake populist, but I'm populist friendly. Don't hate me. You supporters of 45, don't hate me, love me. I'm just doing random stuff here because Paul Ryan just brings back so many memories. You have to talk about the debate, the most famous vice presidential debate, I believe, ever, at least for me in my lifetime. Paul Ryan versus, wait for it, Mr. Joe Biden. It was an amazing debate.
He sent me 2 letters saying, by the way, can you send me some stimulus money for companies here in the state of Wisconsin? We sent millions of dollars. You know why he said
you did ask for stimulus money?
Sure, he did. By the way,
on 2 occasions, we advocated for constituents who are applying for grants. That's what we do. We do that for all constituents who are applying.
I love that. I love that. This is such a bad program, and he writes me a letter saying, writes the Department of Energy a letter saying, the reason we need this stimulus, it will create growth and jobs. His words.
Unlike the president, Biden slammed Ryan over Romney's infamous comments about the 47% of Americans who don't pay income taxes. Ryan turned it back on Biden.
I think the vice president very well knows that sometimes the words don't come out of your mouth the right way.
I always thought, like many others, that Joe Biden won that debate. But when I go back, I want to watch the whole thing again. He laughed a lot. And Paul Ryan might have got him on ideas, almost like Ben Shapiro had Malcolm Nance on ideas, but Malcolm Nance really won the debate just because of charisma and, the audience. And Joe Biden might have pulled off that victory there. It was a really good debate, though. It was really entertaining. And at one point, when I was a normie, I know that I was a normie 15 months ago, so I'm like way back when I was a normie, but 2010, I thought Paul Ryan for sure was going to be president. He was the young gun, upcoming. Who knew? Nobody knew about Bannon and Trump. It was going to be Eric Cantor, Paul Ryan. See, they were establishment corporate dudes that didn't give a damn about the people. And that's where Steve Bannon came in, started talking about jobs should be brought back here. Whether they got it done or not is not the point. They talked about it and wanted to do it, which is, it's harder to do than to say. To bring jobs back on shore, to be more nationalist, America first. And that, just those thoughts right there eviscerated Paul Ryan and Eric Cantor, because that wasn't where they were at.
And remember, the one decision we made very fundamentally, and I kind of was, I think, a big influence on Andrew on this. I said, look, we're attacking Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama. We're so far removed from having any influence over that, because this time we're a very small site. Yeah. I said, we're the populist, kind of economic nationalist part of this. Let's attack the real enemy. And the real enemy is the Republican establishment. What we're going to do is just go after the House leadership. We're going to go after the Mitch McConnells. We're going to go after the donors. We're just going to go hard at kind of this kind of Paul Ryan philosophy.
Why did you think Boehner and Cantor were vulnerable?
Because they were vulnerable, because there's a huge disconnect. Remember, the one thing is Democrats they have lined up, they have actually, at least here recently, donors in their base kind of line up. The Republican Party is totally dysfunctional. It's essentially a working class party. The votes all come from working class or low and middle class people predominantly, right? And it doesn't represent their interests.
Marco Rubio kind of, to me, was in that group a little bit too.
What are you grateful for today?
What I'm grateful for is I saw in New York the other day that there was a march. People were marching down the street. I don't know much backstory with it. What I really want to look at is, because I'm not as big on marching now, especially if you're not aligned with the media, who is the one, though they're the ones that are going to project your march to other people. But I'm in my basement, so it's better than what I'm doing. But I'm curious, if you see these people marching, how many people are of different political backgrounds? How many people are Biden voters and Trump supporters? If you don't see a group that gets together with former Trump supporters, current Trump supporters, current Biden supporters, former Biden supporters, Green Party Libertarian, like the Green Party Libertarian got together on this End the Damn Wars campaign. If you can see that, that's going to give me a little bit of white pill, which is the hope for the future. Let me know what you think. Take care.